Okay, narrative breakers. Jeff Bezos is currently under fire for partying with Usher while his entire company, Amazon, is on strike because of what they are calling poor work conditions. But it's a twist to it, as there always is. This strike is being led by one of the largest union companies, who also recently kind of stabbed Kamala Harris in the back. This is an interesting story, don't miss.
Right?
I know people are mad about the Jeff Bezos thing. It's just a lot of Amazon workers that are currently very frustrated about it. A few things I got to say for this video starts. Jeff Bezos did step down as president and CEO, but he still has his role as executive chairman. So I can't say he's completely disconnected from the company Amazon. I'll also say the people that's on strike aren't your typical Amazon workers. These are people that were employed by this union and given to Amazon. Same thing why a lot of people don't really trust unions, because they can really monopolize companies and get them to bend the way of giving more money to the unions. It can be very disgusting. These unions can flock thousands of people into a company and tell all of them to go on strike at once. Not saying this happened, but it's also interesting that two individuals, this union boss and Jeff Bezos, is both now supporting Donald Trump in 2024. It shows that this is not a bipartisan problem. This is a whole lot deeper than that, and it's, to me, one of the most interesting stories I've dropped this week.
Excited for this strike. We've been waiting for this day. We've been prepping for this day. This is the day that they get to see how strong we are.
This is our chance to truly make history.
Teamsters have voted to authorize a strike at 7 Amazon facilities. Those include warehouses in Staten Island and Queens, the Chicago suburb of Skokie, and 4 in Southern California.
Amazon doesn't want us to realize the power that we have as Amazon workers. It wouldn't be able to...
See, these people, I need Amazon workers to check me if I'm wrong. These aren't traditional Amazon workers, so it is weird that they are speaking the voice and the concerns for all the Amazon workers. And some of these people that's complaining, they're saying they're getting measly $21 an hour. I didn't think $21 an hour was measly, not at all. But, you know, if I'm just ignorant to that, I don't know. I have family members that are, you know, working for less. So I do understand that they deliver thousands of packages. It's always been an understood thing that if you go to Amazon, you're going to work. You're going to work. It's a warehouse job. Warehouse jobs is known as pretty hard work. It's even known to a lot of people in my community. You go to the army or work in a warehouse to become a man, because either of those are pretty demanding jobs, labor intrusive. So I don't think much has changed from the past to now. I'm guessing just the amount of demands from the employees has. But it's a big problem because you got half of America feeling like the union is weaponizing this entire situation. And you got another half of America feel like it's time for Amazon to be held accountable for what they say is poor work conditions. I've just seen there's been worse places to work than Amazon.
Run without us.
Amazon is scared because they know that with the power of the union, they're going to have to dish out what they owe.
Amazon needs to understand that there's real people behind these vans. There's real people in these warehouses, and they need to treat us with the dignity that we deserve.
These right here, we're fighting for our life.
We're fighting for our family.
We are Amazon Teamsters.
We deliver the packages.
We make Amazon's profits.
We're demanding our fair share.
We demand fair pay and safe jobs.
If you guys see it, they said Amazon Teamsters. That's the name of the crew. They're named Teamsters. That's the name of the entire union organization. So it's not just Amazon workers. It's Amazon Teamsters workers. It's union attached workers. That itself, to me, is kind of suspicious, because it's not coming from Amazon workers from the core, not independents. It's an organization, which is why you will see videos of Amazon trying to flush them out, flooding them out, trying to get the police to intimidate them to leave, destroying their stations, because Amazon has less respect for them, because in Amazon's eyes, they have more loyalty to Teamsters than Amazon itself. Hey, we are really witnessing corporations' beef and the power of a union. And more importantly, We're about to see how powerful a union is on a presidential scale and how they helped affect this election as well. It's the same group. It's crazy. This is the same group.
Workers at several Amazon facilities across the country have gone on strike during the pre-Christmas holiday rush. On Thursday, members of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters Union, which represents thousands of delivery drivers, walked out of 4 Amazon warehouses in Southern California and 1 in San Francisco. Earlier this week, strikes were also authorized at facilities in New York City, Atlanta, and the Chicago suburb of Skokie. The union says the workers are frustrated with Amazon after it ignored a December 15th deadline that had been set for union negotiations. CBS News correspondent Carter Evans is at one of those facilities in Southern California where workers are striking. Carter?
Well, good evening. Now, they've got picket lines like this at select locations around the country. Here in Southern California, they've been blocking Amazon delivery trucks, but eventually they're letting them through. So this might delay some deliveries, but Amazon says the strike won't have a broad impact. Now, the Teamsters say they're signing up more Amazon workers every day. They say they're fighting for fair wages and better working conditions. Amazon says they already have competitive wages in September, raising base pay to $22 an hour. At this point, the Teamsters say they can't even get Amazon to come to the table and hear their concerns. How long will this strike continue?
To be determined.
Do you think it's going to delay? You know, because Amazon has said this isn't having a large enough impact to actually delay deliveries significantly broadly across the country.
It does say something about the current state of the country and possibly the world too, that if it doesn't affect the money, it doesn't exist. So Amazon pretty much told them, hey, your efforts are bold, but it's not affecting the delivery process and it won't affect or create any delays, so we can handle it. And I have a reason why I think that Amazon really doesn't care about this much longer, and it does have a lot to do in the age of automaton that we're entering. Automation. Yes, AI is going to help Amazon no longer care completely. And they're possibly a year or 2 years before the full implementation.
It may not. Everybody can determine that on their own. Clearly, there's going to be some sort of delay with thousands of people walking off the job.
Now, in a statement, Amazon says what you see here is almost entirely outsiders, not Amazon employees or partners. And the suggestion otherwise is just another lie from the Teamsters. The truth is that they were unable to get enough support from our employees and partners, and it brought in outsiders to come in and harass and intimidate our team, which is inappropriate and dangerous. Now, the Teamsters admit not everyone here on the picket line works for Amazon. There are other Teamsters here in solidarity. Essentially, they say they're trying to send a message to Amazon employees that remain inside.
So boom, there it is. That's the point that people have to watch out for, and that's the point I'm about to have to give some criticism to. They didn't stress how many Teamsters is there. So what happens, right, if that, let's say 85% of these people are all wearing Amazon shirts and they aren't the actual individuals? That's where they manipulate the masses. Hey, as a journalist, I'm supposed to catch stuff like that. This is how even mainstream media manipulate the masses. They'll tell you the truth right there and then go on to something else. You got to pause it sometime and address it. That's what they don't want you to do. It's interesting. They can't confirm how many people are there, and they claim it's to stand in solidarity and send a message. Now, what the media doesn't want you to do is dissect their words. So what we do know right now is that there are thousands of people protesting Amazon, right? But we don't have confirmation on how many of those people work for Amazon, and we don't know how many of these individuals are just independents of Teamster. Since you don't know that, you don't even know how many people are truly protesting Amazon. And so it leaves you to wonder, is it true that Amazon workers are really mad about Jeff Bezos? Or is this being manipulated to make it appear so? Because they didn't confirm it. And then they said they are trying to send a message. That's as bold as it gets. So when you have a movement that says it's trying to send a message, things could be theatrical. They don't have to be as true as it is. When you're sending a message, I mean, a movie can be sending a message. Art can be sending a message. Music can be sending a message. It doesn't have to be in a frame of reality. They aren't saying we're displaying truth. We're sending a message. When they put ketchup on baby dolls and things, or red paint, and claim it's the children of Gaza, that's sending a message. It's not really children of Gaza. It's theatricals. And this could be a massive theatrical to, quote unquote, what they claim send a message, and the message could be more control. And look, I'm not biased at all, because the individual I'm talking about, Jeff Bezos, Trump supporter now, And the head of the union, the president of the union, which you guys will see, is now a Trump supporter. I hold everybody accountable. It don't matter who you support. I feel like that's real journalism. I'm not here for no brownie points from either of these individuals, even though that they are what it appears to be a part of our party, my party now. I got liberals that watch me that expect me to keep things leveled and conservatives, and that's what I'm going to do.
That they've got the full support of the union. Back to you.
Carter Evans, thank you.
Jeff Bezos bragging that he could be the first trillionaire ever.
That's just harps on what I was saying. A trillionaire, one man with $1 trillion. Where's your ethics? Where's your morals? Where's your, my fellow American?
The video right after this is going to show everyone what's going to happen to niggers like this in the future. I promise you. The next video is the video that's right after him is going to explain what's going to happen to him. Because why can you be mad at Jeff Bezos just being successful? What did you talking about morals? If he didn't start Amazon, Negro, you didn't have a place to work. I'm not trying to be insensitive to workers. Like, I got people that's folks that's working at Amazons, but I tell y'all what, none of my family is outside protesting Amazon. They went to work to provide for Christmas, as most Americans do. There are companies that deserve to protest, but this is suspect to me.
I was brought up all my life. My fellow Americans. Share the wealth. How are you about to be a trillionaire? Do you not recognize?
You work for it.
Do you not recognize how you got there? How'd you get there? We're the fuel to that engine. We're the fuel to that profit. We're the fuel. Because if we take away this fuel, you got nothing.
But they don't understand that you're not working for them for free. You looked at the wages, you looked at the contract, and you said, it works for me. That's where I'm just so lost. Anytime I had something I didn't like, I improved it, or I found something better, or something that I could consider to be better for me mentally. I thought we all had these same choices.
Recognize us, respect us enough to say, hey, a livable wage is not $20 an hour. $21 an hour, $22 an hour, $23 an hour. That's not a livable wage.
That nigga want $50 an hour for what he doing.
In today's economy, $100, does it fill up a bag of groceries? One bag of groceries, $100.
That's it. You see? Amazon ain't got time for Amazon ain't got time for they bullshit. I'm trying to tell y'all. Amazon ain't got time for these loudmouth ass niggas. Amazon got an answer for you. This is a video right here showing what's being developed in Amazon facilities. They ain't got time for it. Y'all can go out and do all that protesting, this and that, and hey, it ain't me. I'm just telling you how they feel. They're like, you can do what you got to do. We're going to do what we got to do. Listen, they in the year 2024. They understand we ain't in 2004 no more. They ain't got to listen to folks no more because they got an answer. They got to answer for all these niggas that's outside that think they going to protest Big Amazon and Big Jeff Bezos. This is the answer. Yeah, they ain't, that right there ain't about to be standing outside and protesting. You see that? Those don't protest. You see, we live in an era now where it's almost like the common man can't win. I'm being honest because they got an answer for us all. You want to go out and protest? Well, bring in Astrobot. Yeah, bring in Wally #2. They got to answer. Bring in RP3, 3P, all them names on Star Wars. C3PO, R2D2. Bring in all them versions because they don't complain. They going to do their job. And once they paid once, they ain't got to get paid again. Listen, this is the future. They understand human behavior. And they understand it's a whole lot more affordable to have machines run the whole thing. That's why, through the Industrial Revolution, they started replacing humans more and more. To now we see 50 to 60% of factory jobs that existed in the past don't exist no more. You simply need people to operate the machinery for most of the jobs that was done by hand. Factory workers could agree with me on this. And it is dwindling even more. It's because of things like this. And this is where people could say unions sometimes do more harm than good. I love studying, as you guys could tell, finance, pop culture, and politics because they all show trends. They all have trends. And they all have cause and effect. Even though they are vastly different industries, they operate pretty similarly. It's a natural balance and flow of information. Both entities will do whatever it takes to protect themselves. And that leads to a lot of people getting burned on the outside. That's what we're seeing here. The union might be trying to protect those workers or could be trying to protect itself. that's leading to more workers being fired and being replaced with bots. That's going to be the reality.
As you've said, that's what you hear time and time again from your team.
And so right now what we see is what just now happened, Amazon executives getting grilled and failing to answer questions about the way that their workers are being treated. It's a pretty interesting video, and this is a response to these protests and all of the outrage with Amazon through this year.
Why have your team in Coventry gone on strike so much?
I think it's important to note that we absolutely support their right to do that.
That hasn't answered the. Excuse me. I've obviously we've sat here for quite a while now. I feel like I might need to get lessons from you both at some point in how to not answer the question that was asked directly. If you're that good an employer that you've explained to us so far, why have your workers in Coventry gone on strike so much?
I think they're executing their rights as we absolutely would protect their ability to do. I've shared some data around that building about how employees are telling us it's a great place to work. What I would love to do is invite you, sir, to come and see the building yourself.
I really apologise for interrupting you. My question was why. You haven't answered why. You've told me that, again, it's a great place to work and you've got all this data and I'd love to come and see what you do. Yes, but why? That's the one thing you haven't answered yet, which is the question I actually asked you. Why?
I think that's a good moment for me to, again, extend the invitation.
But it's a good moment for you to not... No, sorry, I'm really sorry. I'm going to really push this point.
Okay.
It's a great opportunity for you to not answer my question. If you are such a great place to work, and I'd like to congratulate you, you said you won an award recently on being a great place to work. If you are that great a place to work, why have your workers in Coventry gone on strike so much?
Our employees have the right to join a trade union or not to join a trade union, and we totally respect that.
I'm pulling teeth at this point. Neither of you answered that question so far. I'll ask it once more.
Yeah.
I'll ask it once more and then I'll give up because I don't think I'm going to get an answer.
From what I'm seeing, that these people can't. Well, it wouldn't be wise for Amazon executives to say, well, really, these workers just went on strike because a union told them to. In my opinion, that's what they're trying to say without saying it. And this dude is completely ignoring it. Hell, he could be getting paid by the unions. This stuff gets tricky. It gets tricky. But it feels like to me they're trying to pretty much tell them like, hey, bro, they're busting our balls. Like the union is behind it all. It's not really the workers. We're winning awards. Come down, see for yourself. People are happy. These aren't the people that typically works here.
Why have they gone on strike so much? What is the reason behind it? You talk to workers every day, you've told us, and that's what your teams do. So when you ask them, why are you going on strike? What's their answer back to you? Why are they striking?
They were demonstrating their right to support the trade union that they were a member of, simply put.
Oh, sorry. Supporting a trade union isn't a legal reason for people to go on strike. What was the legal reason that they went on strike as set out in the paperwork that needs to be supplied to the employer?
See, they just said it was supporting the union. They pretty much said it's the union, not that. Now, the union got to give a reason, give the people a reason to stand behind, and that's what they're begging for the Amazon workers to admit. What is the reason that they're going on strike, which it could be baloney?
In the relevant notice period.
You mean the ballot for strike action?
Yes, that's right. What was the legal reason?
There are multiple scenarios over the recognition attempts that the GMB has made.
We're not talking about recognition. We're talking about the 37 days of industrial action at BHX4 in Coventry. Paperwork needs to be supplied to the employer that lists the reason for strike action. What was the reason given for strike action on those 37 days in answer to my colleague's question?
Mr. Morgan?
Please repeat the question.
In order to take industrial action, a union needs to win a ballot. In order to have a legal ballot, they need to supply to the employer some paperwork that lists the reason, and it needs to be a legal reason. Supporting their union is not a legal reason. It needs to be a legal reason as to why they wish to take strike action for that ballot to go ahead and be lawful and not be challenged in the courts. What was the legal reason on the paperwork supplied to you why your workers at Coventry BHX4 went on strike?
That's one I would be willing to write back on. I don't have the information top of mind, or I can't recall it. We have been, over the series of 2 years, working with the GMB through this process. So we have responded back and forth for several claims, several allegations, I would say. that simply we don't recognize. So please let me come back on that one.
Okay, Mr. Morgan, you don't know why the people went on strike?
I think just to reinforce Jennifer's point that we'll write back on that. I don't have that detailed point.
Okay, you're required to be open with us as a committee. You're sure you don't want to lay out why the people went on strike now?
I guess I fully understand our responsibilities as in front of the committee.
Prior to Biden dropping out of the race, he's in the race.
And right here, guys, I found out a great place to, get this thing full circle and get us to an end. Here is the president of the Teamsters union, which is currently the union that is going against Amazon. They were lifelong Democrats. There's even clips of this guy going back and forth with the Republican from Missouri, I believe. I believe it's Missouri. And long story short, he was grilling the Republican. He's been going against Republicans pretty much his entire career. He switched on Kamala Harris, stabbed her in the back, backstabbed her. This election came out of nowhere, the entire Teamsters union, and he broke down the interaction that pretty much finished him and Kamala Harris. Like I said, I hold everyone accountable. It's an interesting individual, and he is someone I would say in the past conservatives will have been against. It's interesting to see what conservatives' opinions are going to be now, knowing that this is the individual behind the Amazon strike. And if him being a conservative now will affect their opinions of it all.
Around June or May, one of my vice presidents, a woman named Joan Corey out of my local, she sits on our general executive board, was at an event with Vice President Harris. And, they're going through the line to get the picture, and Joan introduces herself to Vice President Harris, says, "I'm Joan Corey. I'm on the general executive board for the Teamsters." She goes, "Teamsters? You better get on board. You better get on board. Better get on board soon." Says it to my vice president.
To her face?
To her face. So she comes back. We have the meeting the next day.
Damn.
And she tells me this.
I thought I was arrogant. That's really arrogant.
So she tells me this. So I call up Marty Walsh. She wasn't the secretary.
And this pushed him away. This is what made him completely betray Kamala. This is how powerful this individual is. I need you guys to understand. He don't give a rat's ass about Jeff Bezos or any billionaire. This dude is so powerful, he could care less about vice presidents and potential presidential candidate.
Labor, but he was pushing hard for us to make the endorsement. I'm like, let me ask you a question, Marty. Excuse my French. Who does this fucking lady think she is? Like, if I want to support from any organization, I am not going to point my finger in someone's face and say, "You better get on board or else." But that's the attitude of this whole party.
Yeah, and they lost him. They lost him on that. He's fighting back. He's still in his Democrat ways, as you could tell, still running the union as he did in the past. But his political beliefs have changed. I want to see if he will continue these strikes. Now he's more conservative, or if they will increase being more conservative. The America I know and love, guys, you're not the only one that's confused. It doesn't make sense no more. There's people that we were supposed to look out for is now saying that they're our allies. The Youngs and Turks, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. The list goes on and on. I don't know. It's hard to even look at things in the correct scope, so we get there together. Day by day, we're going to figure this out. Like I always say, please like the videos. I see that you guys listened to me on the earlier video day. You guys push the likes up. Let me make sure real quick while we got some time. Boom, 301 likes you guys gave me in 5 hours. So I am super thankful for that. Thank you for giving me those likes in that small amount of time. It helped push my content all the way up. If you could shoot this one to 500 likes, we're going to go to the moon on Christmas. Please click the notification bell to stay updated, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you. Let's break the narratives together. Merry Christmas, and to all a good night.